Bladesmiths, welcome to the forge. All right, let's dive right in. On your anvils is a cloth. Go ahead and lift that up. That is a piece of pristine 5160 spring steel. Today, you'll be forging friction folders. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 3 hour starts now.
A friction folder is a knife that has a lot of mechanical aspects to it. The tricky part is you have to create a pivot point. That way it will fold out and fold in evenly without any breaks or gaps.
Come on, let's move some steel. I like the way Bob's hammering.
I'm designing this blade as I go, with every hammer blow, and how it's going to fit together. My thought process on having my tail a little bit higher than my spine is so that when the friction folder is open, you kind of have a guard.
I draw the material out and I start to visualize how this knife is going to be. At this point, the knife is revealing itself. Then I start shaping the blade.
Looks like Asutsa is gonna make us a very thin, very shallow blade. You've seen some of the tests we do. You would think you would want to folder that blade out, get some size into it. We don't play games with these tests.
I've got to focus on that pivot point and how the handle material and the tang and the tab on the end of the tang are all going to work together.
The hardest thing about making a friction folder is the little joint of the knife, the folding part. Right now, I'm mainly afraid of the area where the tang starts.
That ricasso needs to be flat, as in both sides parallel. So if the ricasso gets wide or flares as it gets closer to the blade, that's gonna throw off the scales. And that could affect the way that the blade sits in that friction folder handle.
Yep.
It's time to quench, and if this blade warps on me, the warp is not going to allow for that blade to set inside a friction folder, and that will send me home.
Oh! I think John just lost his blade in the bottom of the oil.
I could feel the blade with the tongs, but I could not get a good grip on it. I decided I might as well just grab it. This has got to be a stupid idea. I have just placed a piece of metal that was at about 2,200 degrees into this vat of oil.
Prepping his arm for the dump.
Now I'm having to reach into the bottom of it to pull it out.
We're gonna see some deep fried arm.
You got it, John!
There we go.
I am ecstatic. No warps, no cracks, and no chips. Oh, thank God. It's hard.
Look at the size of the tail that Bob's putting on there. The only concern I have is as that knife pivots, he's gonna have a lot of room in that handle for the tail to slide in.
All right, so Bob is in the oil.
The quench is critical because if you don't get a knife hard, it'll never hold an edge. Testing it with the file to make sure that I'm hard. I feel better now than setting down to an Idaho baked potato and a 2-inch steak.
When the steel takes on the color of the sunset, that's when it's ready to receive its soul.
So with a nice slow quench into the oil.
The knife will always receive the soul once it's quenched. All the work you've done up to that point is finalized. You don't go back from that part.
10 minutes, Bladesmiths!
So I'm at this grinder, and I'm totally unfamiliar with this machinery. The grinders are removing a lot of material very fast, and I'm not accustomed to that.
I am a little bit worried that Asutsa got those bevels coming past that pinhole. Nothing's gonna line up very well because the sides of the ricasso are just not gonna be parallel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't go completely in all the way, so the tang pretty much remains unquenched. That's what I want, is the tang to remain soft and strong rather than brittle.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This round is over. Bladesmiths, now it's time for the judges to take a closer look at your work. John, please present your blade to the judges.
My biggest concern is your pivot hole. Now, that's the only connection this blade is going to have to your handle material. That's maybe a third the size of the connection you want for a pivot. It's just a weak spot, so I'd like to see you do something to beef that up.
Thank you.
Bob, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
I like the shape, very aggressive shape. I'm not sure if I like the alignment of the tail, though. It's either going to be an interesting handle configuration, or this is going to be high, or the blade's going to be low when it's opened or closed. But I like the beginnings of this.
All right, Derek, please present your blade to the judges.
I really do like the shape of this and the look of it, but my brain's trying to figure how that curve is going to go over that straight. I'm not sure if you're designing this to sit on top of the handle or to lay into the handle, but if it sits on top, make sure that's comfortable and it's not creating hot spots.
Atsatsa, please present your blade to the judges.
Well, I like the overall profile of this. One thing I do have a problem with, though, is your ricasso is basically matching your blade. With a tapering like this into a V shape, the handle scales will also form a V shape, and the blade won't have a straight section to fold into. That ricasso tapering that way, that's just going to cause a lot of problems.
Bladesmiths, the judges have made a final decision. The bladesmith leaving the forge is Atsatsa. Your blade did not make the cut. David Baker's going to tell you why.
Atsatsa, you brought us a classic blade shape, but unfortunately you fell into a couple of the classic traps when making a friction folder. The grinds, your bevels, go all the way into the ricasso, making a wedge shape, and that's not going to line up in your handle very well and be snug. If it's snug when it's closed, it's not going to be snug when it's open. We feel going into a second round, your blade has more work than any of the other smiths. That's why we're letting you go.
Atsatsa, please surrender your blade.
I think the judge's decision is very valid. So when I go home, I'm definitely gonna focus on getting a grinder and just practice on that one. I'm feeling a bit down, but I'm so stoked that I was actually able to come and be on Forge and Fire and just compare myself to these amazing bladesmiths. And definitely will be something I remember for a lifetime and a great motivator and teacher.